Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Up Sis Talk Radio, the show where Christian authors have an opportunity to share the word of their testimony through their written works and through their books in order to inspire your testimony. I'm your host, author Angel Charmaine, and today I've got yet another amazing author in the space to share her story with you and to share a beautiful book. And it's not just a beautiful book, like it's got a beautiful cover and everything. But let me tell y'all, this book right here is not for the faint of heart. I'm just going to lay it out there. You got to have a pretty thick skin to read this particular book. So I want to go ahead and welcome author Tammie T Polk to Speak Up Sis Talk Radio. How you doing, Tammie? Welcome.
Thank you, Angel, for having me on again to be brave enough to talk about this book again.
Yes. Yes. So you and I, we go back a little ways. For those of you who may be new to the platform, Tammie is not just an author and a businesswoman, but she is also, are you still CEO of Lifted Authors Radio Network?
Yes, we are still going. We just made a year last month.
That is what's up. So Speak Up Sis Talk Radio got its start on Lifted Authors Radio Network on the Finding My Way Network USA Worldwide. Shout out to them. Yeah. You listen, you just will always have a special place in my heart. So I thank you for that start. For those of you who are brand new and didn't know that we were on that particular platform prior to launching out and establishing Speak Up Sis Talk Radio with the Speak Up Sis brand. So as well as GMAP Radio, where we are right now. So thank you, Tammie, for that. But let's talk about you. This is all about you today. So first, tell everybody a little bit about who is Tammie T Polk.
Well, first of all, as I always say, I bring you greetings from the home of Elvis, the Grizzlies, and barbecue, Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah, so I'm way on the other side of the Mississippi. Yes, where all the good music is.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. Yes. Aside from doing the absolute most,
yes,
professionally on a daily basis, I am a married homeschooling mother of 3 heads of hair. Just like their mama. 17, 12, and 7. Wow. I tell people to pray for my husband because I'm good. I'm all right.
You good.
I'm good. They know their mama crazy. So yeah, they pray for him. So I tell people all the time, I am an educator at heart, but I'm an author by trade. I have been blessed this year. Woo, that's a whole nother testimony. To pen and record 131. Print up.
You said you have penned 131?
Penned and recorded 131. Print, digital, audio books, and about close to 30 planners.
Wow.
All since September 2015.
Wow.
Yeah. So to say that I enjoy writing is an understatement.
It's an understatement.
It's an understatement. Me and writing have a very interesting relationship.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot of writing. That's a lot of reading. That's just a lot. I'm looking behind you on the bookshelf behind you.
Yes.
Everything back there belongs to you. Is that correct?
That is correct, with the exception of one.
Mm-hmm.
book on my shelf. Everything you see behind me came from this brain.
Wow, I'm impressed. And again, I say congratulations to you because
Thank you.
most definitely. Well, you decided to list one of the 131 on Speak Up Sis bookshelf. Yes! And this book, and I want to make sure I say it correctly, it is the 7 Virtuous Businesswoman Slayers.
Yes, you said it right.
I said it right.
Beautiful.
Let me tell you, this book is amazing. So let me just say to you all, for most people who know me, they know the platform. You all know that I like to read. I actually read the books that are on the bookshelf, right? I remember I had been connected to you for a minute, but I hadn't actually read any of the books. And so I was like, I think I'm gonna see what she's talking about. And my goodness, I asked you, where should I start? Because there are so many of them. And you said, well, start with this one. So I was like, okay, great. Baby, let me tell you. I was like, okay, ouch, ouch, ouch. Ooh, okay. And I remember messaging you saying, I know why people
get mad
with you when they read this book. Because I can just hear folks going, but you don't understand. But you actually subtitled this the 7
deadly
clouds. So listen, please tell the people what this book is all about.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to be real honest with you. This book almost did not get written. The Slayers came from a conversation that I had with a teacher who wanted to write a book. And I asked her why she couldn't write one. Insert the teacher from Charlie Brown. But it just costs so much to write a book, and I don't have time, and I have my son, and he's autistic, and writing is just kind of a hobby. And, I'm a teacher, so, I've been a teacher since I got out of college, and the kids are great. The school is nice. They treat me well. They pay me right. So I'm really good where I am, but I really want to write a book. And I'm like, so I say to this lady, I said, sweetheart, yeah, I'm from the South. Sweetheart, you don't have an excuse. So this was back in 2016. The Slayers is actually 4 years old. And I looked at her and I said, I substitute teach 5 days a week. I tutor 6 days a week. I run a homeschool parent co-op 2 days a week. I'm married to a FedEx employee. I have 3 daughters, 2 of whom are borderline autistic. We are homeschool parents. I run 2 businesses of my own, co-manage 2 other businesses. I wrote 2 books within 3 months of each other, didn't pay a dime to publish either one, and you're older than me. You want to run that by me one more time?
Okay, so what you did was like step on her toes, get all in her business, and make her very upset. Pretty much. So and let me just say this. I am an educator, 20-year educator, high school teacher, middle school teacher. I know how that must have grabbed her even as a teacher.
Yes. Yeah, so that bothered me. And it bothered me so much that I got home and I grabbed my journal and I wrote down everything she said. Like each one got its own page. And I literally sat down and said, okay, Tammie, how have you overcome this? And how can you help other women to see that this is really a load of crap? Because it is. So I wrote it out. I came up with these little exercises to do. and it was an ebook. It was a freebie, for my email list. That was all it was going to be. That was all it was going to do. That was it until my mentor downloaded it. And she said, Tammy, what are you going to do with this? What do you mean? What am I going to do with it? I'm doing exactly what I want to do with it. She said, this is your next book. What's my next book? This freebie. What freebie? Your email freebie. What email freebie you And so she tells me, she says, you cannot talk about, promote, or do anything else for the next 30 days until you turn this into a book. Then when you come to my conference in Atlanta, which you're speaking at, by the way, that's what you're going to talk about. And I'm like, she get on my nerves.
Let me just throw this in there. I'm gonna just interject this for the people who don't believe in investing in themselves. Coaches are amazing. They are amazing investments. If you have a good one anyway, let me say that.
Yeah.
A good one, they help you to see the things that are like in your blind spot. It's not that you don't know this or that you don't know how to do something, but sometimes they can see what you can't see. And I think sometimes we think, oh, I don't want to pay somebody to tell me what I already know. They're not telling what you know.
Right.
They help you to see what's in that blind spot, you know? And they help to bring to your awareness some things that maybe you didn't realize. And so I like that your coach actually helped you to get to this place, and not only to help you see it, but created a space for you to actually promote it.
Exactly. And actually, that's one of the things that I have in the workbook about, because people always says, oh, well, I can't afford coaching. And so I'm like, okay, your dream influencer, like the person who, if somebody talks during that live, you ready to throw a shoe. Like that person, if you genuinely, because there's a difference between not being able to afford something and not wanting to pay for it. So if you genuinely cannot pay for it, but you want access to that person, do they have a business page, Facebook group, mastermind, social media, email list? Did they write a book? Do they have an online course? Do they host an event within a reasonable distance of you? I just gave you 8 ways to work with that person, because once you build, like with my coach, once I built that rapport with her and she saw my commitment to what I was trying to do, she looked the other way on some things. And that coach may do the same thing for you. Yep, that program that they want you to go through that you know is perfect for you may be $14.97, but you know what? You might get an email that says, hey, I got a payment plan, and then I'm going to knock it down to $5. So I'm broke, which is chapter number 1. And that is the reason why, I don't ever think I told you this, Angel, but that is the reason why this set is so cheap. I wanted to eliminate you saying that this book costs too much, because right, very first cop out, because you can get the Kindle for $2.99, get the workbook for $5.38, and spend less than $10. But if you get both hard copies, it's $12.
Right. And that's still, and can I just be honest? That's still less than what most people spend on McDonald's. Let's just keep it 100. Let's keep it 100.
Yeah.
I already know we only have 30 minutes in this space.
Yeah.
I want to make sure. I just
do them all in.
So there are books that I will download on my Kindle that I don't read. I'm just going to be honest. I download them. I buy the books. I don't get to reading the book. It's in a queue. Sometimes another book will come up. It will take its place, and that book moves down. There are different reasons that books jump out to me and make me want to read them. It's rarely about the author, him or herself. It's usually something about the book or what's in the book that just kind of makes me want to read it. Well, this particular one, the fact that you had this slayers, like this businesswoman slayer. So I'm like, I thought it was going to something about what you slay, but it's not. It's about what slays you.
Yep.
What destroys you as a businesswoman. And so let's take a look at the actual the slayers. You've got slayer number 1.
I'm broke.
We
just talked about him.
Yes. Slayer number 2.
I don't have time.
Oh my goodness. Slayer number 3. I have a family. How many times do we hear women say, I got kids, I got a husband, I got to do this, I got all this, I got to take care of my parents, whatever.
One word. And
see, what did I tell y'all? This book is not for thin-skinned people.
No, it is not.
You're going to be like way in your feelings.
Right.
Slayer number 4. I have a job.
And
slayer number 5. My talent is just a hobby.
No, it's not. Not if you get serious about it. It's not.
Slayer number 6. I don't know how to do anything.
God has never created a one-hit wonder.
Oh, girl. Okay,
you just pass the plate on that one by itself.
That's tweetable right there. And slayer number 7. I'm good where I am.
You are lying. You are a ticking time bomb.
Girl,
and when you see that sister friend who is out there killing the game and you mad, first of all, I'm gonna give you a cape so you can be super mad. But then, not only that, I'm gonna tell you why you mad. It's not her you're mad at. You're mad at the results that she got from the steps that you refused to take because you thought you didn't have to.
Girl, listen.
Mic drop.
So throw this
tell y'all
highlighter at you again.
I have been cussed out.
Mm-hmm.
I have gotten pictures of my book being burned.
No, please say you telling a story.
My book has been burned. It has been thrown. It has been thrown in the trash. I have had bloggers and book reviewers to bring me on their shows just so they could go off on me. I use this book as one of my coaching programs. I have people now that once we got through, they never spoke to me again. I couldn't even get a testimonial from them.
Wow.
And that's been, 3, maybe 4 years ago.
Is that all because they didn't like what you had to say?
I have been accused of having cameras in people's houses, being in people's heads. People have asked me, am I a psychiatrist or a psychologist? And then they're like, you know what? You got a degree in psychology. That's what's wrong with you,
honey.
So this book has gotten me. I've been run out of events where I've spoken. Like literally, the hostility was so high that I had to leave.
Wow.
because I had never seen that many side eyes and eye rolls in a room at one time. But this book is geared towards helping you to understand that life may be playing monkey in the middle with your dreams, but it is not standing in your way. You are. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a workshop on this book on December 12th from 4 to 6 on Facebook. And I'm going to be talking about how we can't take these cop-outs into 2021.
Girl.
Everybody talking about stuff that they need to leave in 2020. Let these 7 things go in the bag.
I feel you.
Put these 7 things right on over in that bag.
And leave them.
And leave them. So when the garbage man come pick that bag up, don't be running outside talking about, oh, I ain't mean to throw that away. Leave it.
Do you mind if I share just a little bit of one of my favorite slayers?
Oh, please do.
Okay. This is slayer number 2. I don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
Are you managing your time or are you wasting it? There is a difference between the two. And if you're real with yourself, you know that you are wasting your time. And that wasting is in all caps and it's bold. I just thought I would throw that out there. Think about those days where you stayed in the bed watching TV all day. How did that make you feel? You're good with that? Let me put it like this then. Think about those days where you stayed in bed watching TV all day, only to look up and see that you haven't gotten anything done all day. That's all bold and caps too. And now you're mad. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. When was the last time you really looked at how you spend your time every day? It's not something that people like to do, but sometimes we need to give ourselves a reality check because we know that we ain't right. Girl,
ain't right at all. Another thing that I say in that chapter is this. Time is the one thing that we all have the same amount of, but we use it very differently.
Yes. And that's the truth.
So you have to look at what you're doing with your time, because the reason why I think I don't have time is probably the longest chapter in the book, if I remember correctly. But there's a reason for that. And it's because we get so caught up in saying it that we don't think about the time that we don't use effectively. Give you an example. Let me do this one for the culture. When you under the hair dryer at the salon, because you know we under there for a minute. What are you doing? What are you doing? That 45 minutes, hour, or if you're me trying to get a roller set, hour and a half, that is time that you could be using to expand and build on your vision. Instead of trying to beat your friend on Candy Crush, you can be reading somebody's blog, watching somebody's live, reading a book. That coach you want to work with, you could be having your discovery session with them. You could be journaling about what it is that you want to get done in reference to what you're building. There is so much that you could be doing during what I call those steal away moments. And I'll give you an example. Usually whenever I present the slayers to a group of people, I always end up having one guy in the workshop. Never fails. Always end up having one guy. So on this particular day, I was presenting only one of the Slayers, which was number 7. And he asked me to go back to time. And when I explained about those steal away moments and what you can do during those steal away moments, I could see the light bulb come on. So the person who brought me in to tag team that workshop calls me a few days later and she says, I got to give you this testimonial. And I said, okay, shoot. And she says, well, do you remember the guy from the workshop? I said, yeah. And she said, well, he was at a baseball game one day. And during the time when the teams changed the field, he decided to check his phone. And he had an email inquiry from someone who wanted to buy a car. So during that time where the teams are changing the field and they're doing the TV timeouts and playing the games and all that stuff, he was responding to this person's inquiry, set the appointment up for the next day, goes into work, didn't sell one car, but he sold 2, and he made a 5-figure commission simply because he took that few minutes from when the teams were changing the field to check his email.
That's smart.
But you don't have time.
But that's smart. It's resourceful. I think sometimes when we think about being resourceful, we think about actual tangible things. But you can be resourceful with your time.
Yes. I'll give you a personal example. I took the bus from Memphis to Miami, Florida for a speaking engagement. 29 and a half hours on the Greyhound. But guess what? Guess what I did?
What?
In that 29 and a half hours.
What'd you do?
I wrote 3 books sitting on that bus.
Wow.
That was research, writing, cover design, getting help with cover design, getting help with editing, everything. And I posted my progress on Facebook along with my trip progress. 3 of them jokers, 3 written, edited, designed, up on Amazon before I got off that bus.
But when you think about it though, when you've got 29 hours straight
where you are doing absolutely nothing. And you got access to a power outlet and Wi-Fi. What are you doing?
Exactly. Sleeping.
Now I did
sightseeing.
But I'm just saying, I had Wi-Fi that worked and a power outlet and nobody sitting next to me for 29 and a half hours.
I'm telling you, I just want to repeat for anyone who missed us at the very beginning. This is author Tammie T Polk. She is the author of the 7 Virtuous Businesswoman Slayers, also known as the 7 Deadly Cop-Outs. She has penned and recorded 131 books. You see some of them back there on that shelf back there. She has her own store in Memphis, right? Where you are, where you're located, where she actually sells her books out of her store. She is on Amazon as well as the bookshelf. Speak Up Sis bookshelf. She's listed the 7 Slayers on the bookshelf. You can access this book today. Just go to speakupsis.com/bookshelf. Her book is a featured book. Just click on the book and it'll take you directly to where you can order this book. Get it today. It's a good book, y'all. Listen, I'm telling you this. I read it The content is solid. It's going to make you really begin to think about what you're doing with your time. It's going to begin to make you think about some of the things that you're using as excuses to not get things done. Even I, after I read it, was like, okay, I probably could do some things differently. Even though I feel like I'm one of the hardest working women, period. I too read this and thought, there's some areas where I could really be doing better, and maybe not even working as hard if I utilize my time better, if I, got out of my head some in some of these situations. So I really encourage you all to check out Tammie T Polk. Tammie, we have run out of time, sis, but I want to make sure that people go get this book. Before we leave, today is Black Friday, and you are having a special of some sort going on. You want to tell the people about that right now?
Yes. So these Slayers is one of, at least 20 of my books that is on my site right now. It's www.professionallysassy.me /Black-Friday-sale. It is password protected. The password is BF2020. The BF is capitalized. So you can get the Slayers. You can get many, many more of my books. I am only focusing on items that I actually have on hand in stock and don't have to order, because you guys know that the shipping industry, it's a little interesting right now. So please check me out. I welcome your support. Angel, my dear friend, I love you bunches.
Girl, you my new best friends on Facebook.
Yeah, so thank you for having me. And as I always say to people, God bless, Godspeed in all that you do. Keep charging and leave these Slayers right where they are.
That's right.
Just put them in the bag and let the garbage man. Don't run outside talking about you need to get something out. Just leave it in the bag.
Leave the cop outs in the garbage can where they belong. Yes. And with that, everybody, we are done for the day. I appreciate you all for joining us for Speak Up Sis Talk Radio. Thank you for supporting Speak Up Sis Bookshelf, your newest place for Christian books, and not just Christian books, but we are creating space for independently published, self-published Christian authors to be seen and heard, and for readers to be able to find them. So please make sure that you share and go check out Speak Up Sis Bookshelf today and get you a book. And books make great gifts.
Great gifts.
Great stocking stuffers.
Yes.
So go get you some books on speakupsis.com/bookshelf. Until next time, we'll see you later. Take care. Be blessed. Bye.